multiple tornadoes, possibly intense tornadoes possible with damaging wind and large hails all expected today, stretching from areas in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, even stretching into areas in Mississippi and Alabama. There is a threat for tornadoes. I'll be breaking that all down in today's forecast, so let's get started now. I'm going to start with our severe weather risk for today. We have a 3 to 5 enhanced risk for severe weather today. That stretches in that orange area. That stretches from areas in Tyler, Texas, all up into areas into southern Missouri. That yellow area is a 2 to 5 slight risk for severe weather. That stretches from areas like Waco, Texas, all up into areas in Bowling Green, Kentucky. In that dark green area, they 1 to 5 marginal risk for severe weather, stretches from southern Texas all the way up into areas in Louisville, Kentucky. Let's take a look at our tornado risk. Here is our tornado probabilities for today. That green area is a 2% tornado risk. We would see a spin up or two possible in that area, stretches from areas like Waco, Texas, all up into areas in Louisville, Kentucky. That brown area is a 5% risk for tornadoes. We could see a few tornadoes possible in that area. And where that dash pattern, that dashed lines are, that is a SIG 2, which is intensity level 2. That basically means we could see EF2 plus intensity tornadoes possible in that area. Let's take a look at our wind risk. Here is our wind risk for today. That red area is a 50% wind risk for today, damaging wind risk. That yellow area is a 15% damaging wind risk, and that brown area here is a 5% damaging wind risk. And where that dash pattern is, that is where we could see 50 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible in that area with strong line of storms we are expecting and supercells. Let's take a look at our hail risk. Here is our hail probabilities for today. That red area is a 30% risk for hail. That yellow area is a 15% risk for hail. And that brown area is a 5% risk for hail. Where that that dashed line pattern that are far spread apart, that is a SIG 1, we could see hail that is as big as 2+ inches in that area. And where we see the lines, the more close together lines in that area near Texarkana, Tyler, Dallas, McKinney, Shreveport area, that's where we could see hail as big as 3 inches in diameter in that area with discrete supercells, which we are expecting in that area. Let's go look at what our models are showing. Here's our expected reflectivity on the HRRR model, and also show their updraft helicities along with it behind them. So we see some storms up in the afternoon hours in northwestern Texas areas. That eventually goes into Oklahoma, and it becomes into a big landslide. We could see a tornado possibly in the afternoon hours if this storm can stay discrete long enough and get mature enough before it gets collided with the other storms. It eventually becomes into a line of storms with a tornado threat still being possible, even though it is a line of storms. They could still have embedded tornadoes going up into areas like Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas. And we see some supercells starting up in northern Texas. That will be our main tornado threat for today. In northern Texas, where we do have a very favorable environment for tornadoes with a lot of storm fuel. And they also are supercells, which are what produces most tornadoes. But either way, we could see tornadoes anywhere in front of this line of storms and in front of these supercells. So stretching from areas like Dallas, Texas, McKinney, Texas, all the way up into areas in Mississippi, Alabama eventually, down to more eastern Texas areas. We could see tornadoes anywhere in that area. So definitely, no matter what risk you are in, you should be weather aware no matter what. I most likely will be live for this, so make sure you guys do subscribe or follow for more with notifications so you get notified when I go live. Let's take a look at our surface-based CAPE. Here's our surface-based CAPE. Basically, CAPE means convective available potential energy. Basically, it's our storm fuel is the easiest way to explain it. And we only need about 500 to 1,000 CAPE for severe storms usually. And we definitely have that. We are looking at numbers going up into 3,000 to 5,000 CAPE anywhere in the risk zone today. So basically, we definitely have enough storm fuel for these storms. So they definitely will not lack that storm fuel at all. The only thing that we are more concerned about is if they can stay discreet, they could produce more tornadoes. But luckily, we are looking at mainly a line of storms, which hopefully will make it so we don't have as many tornadoes. But we still do have a 5% tornado risk today, which still means we could see a few tornadoes possible. So we definitely have a lot of storm energy today, and then as we go into the night tomorrow, that starts to weaken. That's when the storms also start to weaken, the tornado starts to lower. As we go into past 8 p.m., so like 11 p.m., 12 p.m., 12 a.m., I mean, that's when our storm starts to really die down. We lose most of our storm's energy and also our environment for tornadoes. Let's take a look at our bulk shear next. Here's our bulk shear. Basically, shear is just kind of rotation of the atmosphere. It is the wind change in direction. As you go higher in the atmosphere, it helps storms to rotate. about 30 to 40 plus knots of bulk shear is definitely enough for rotating storm. We definitely do have enough bulk shear for today. We have 60 knots of shear in the areas of Mississippi where that line of storms will be, where we could expect embedded tornadoes. Plus, we have 25 to 30, 36. We have some pockets of 36 in some supercells in northeastern Texas areas where we could see a few tornadoes possible, but we could also see embedded tornadoes inside that line of storms stretching from areas in Alabama all up into areas in eastern Texas. Even southern Texas could get some. There's a low chance for tornadoes. Tennessee, Kentucky, all those areas have a risk for tornadoes, but mainly the main tornado threat will be stretching from Mississippi to eastern Texas and northern Texas areas, and southern Arkansas and northern Louisiana areas will be our main tornado threat. We could see a few tornadoes possible embedded in the line of storms, and also with supercells we could see large hail, tornadoes, and damaging winds possible without once it becomes into a big line of storms. We could see very strong wind gusts. Let's take a look at our significant tornado parameters. Here with our significant tornado perimeter, we really need about 1 to 2 significant tornado perimeter for it to be a good environment for tornadoes. And we definitely have that today, which is not surprising. We do have all the ingredients for tornadoes today. It just kind of depends on if storms can stay discrete enough to actually be able to produce those tornadoes is a question here. So we can see areas going from 2 to 4 sector in northern Texas where we do expect supercells to be possible, which is not a good sign. That means we could see tornadoes mostly happen with supercells. So we definitely have the environment for tornadoes, even into areas like Mississippi. We see going up to 3 significant tornado parameters. Basically takes in multiple ingredients and kind of detects where there is a good environment for significant tornadoes possibly. Which, like I showed at the beginning in the SPC outlook, we do have an area of a SIG2 intensity where we could see EF2 plus intensity tornadoes possible. So that surprised me that we have such high significant tornado parameter numbers. We definitely have the environment there. It kind of just goes off if the storms can stay discrete enough and not get completely choked out by the line of storm. The best case scenario would be that the line of storm is too strong, the storms are too close together, and they cannot get enough inflow and outflow to actually be able to produce tornadoes. That would be the best case scenario, but either way, we are expecting at least a few tornadoes to be possible today in that 5% tornado rate. In that green area that I showed at the beginning from like southern Texas all up into Tennessee, we could also see some discrete tornadoes, which is why they do have a lower significant tornado perimeter. They don't even have one significant tornado perimeter number, which is why they are in a 2% tornado risk, because it is not for sure if they will be able to actually produce a tornado because the environment is not as favorable there. But like northeastern Texas, northern Texas areas, eastern Texas, stretching from there all the way to areas in Arkansas and Mississippi and Alabama, they definitely have a favorable environment for tornadoes there. I most likely will be live later covering this. Make sure you guys do follow for more, or subscribe for more, and like this video, and comment where you're at. You can also check your city, what you can expect at your city, on my website, tuftsweather.org. I recently made it. It explains what each SIG means, like the intensity level on the SPCs. It also explains how each outlook works, like how what is needed for a moderate, like what probabilities are needed for a moderate risk, enhanced risk like we have today. Let's go check that out. It also tells you your expected weather, the risk zones you're in. Has your radar on there with high quality radar. I'm also going to be adding single site radar soon. It's going to be basically kind of have its own radar site also. So definitely go check that out.